Hi, my name is Dash. I'm 24 years old from Vancouver, BC, Canada, and I'm here to talk about my long hair. First off, I'd like to thank Chris Wright and everyone on the team of Men's Long Locks feature on my Instagram. Thanks very much, I appreciate that. So let's get started. I started growing out my hair 3 years ago, so it was around Christmas time, 2014, and at the time I had like the undercut, long top, short side kind of haircut. And I was getting kind of sick of this haircut, so I wanted to do something new, something fresh, something exciting. So I thought that I'd grow up my hair. This wasn't the first time I tried to grow up my hair. The first time was probably the year before that. And I found that when I hit that awkward stage, I just couldn't really find the style to suit me. Like I wouldn't wear hats or anything just because I didn't really like it. So instead of keep on going, I kind of just cut my hair and then just stayed with a short hairstyle. So around this time I thought, you know what, let me try something new. Let me try to set a goal for myself in order to keep me, not only to go through the awkward phase of growing out long hair, but just in general to keep me grounded in the fact that, oh, I'm doing this for a reason. So I made the decision that I was going to grow up my hair to donate it to cancer patients to make wigs for them. So this really helped, especially in that first year. So instead of growing it out from that undercut that I said I had before, I thought, you know what, it's Christmas time, New Year's around the corner, so I decided to make a New Year's resolution and that I would grow up my hair. So when I did it, I actually shaved my head completely and started growing it from there. So having that added setback of having no hair in the beginning of January in Vancouver, it's pretty cold. Wearing a hat, that helped obviously, but then right around the year mark when it started to get a little bit longer, I hit the wall, that awkward phase. So in order to combat that, you have to find a style that suits you. Like I said before, I don't really like wearing hats. Toques, beanies, those worked well, but I found that when it was at the point where I couldn't really tie it up like in a top knot style or anything, I just kind of used some pomade, wet my hair, slicked it back, and had like one of those elastic bands like soccer players use, and that helped a little bit. And then eventually, once I was able to tie it in the back, that helped a lot as well. And then eventually it just got to the point where I could tie it up in a pony. So having said all that, you know, this is how much my hair's grown in 3 years. From scalp, I haven't gotten a haircut per se, because I was donating it to cancer patients. Their criteria is a little bit different. Like it has to be 8 inches long, it has to be clean, no, like in terms of clean, I mean it can't be dyed. So I took a lot of care of it, which I'll talk about later. But pretty much this is how much it's grown in 3 years. I'll just do a little quick spin around. So I didn't get a haircut for those 3 years, but I got what I call maintenance trims, and this is just part of the care, because once you reach a certain length, your hair will start to split. I'm sure guys who have been growing out their hair or have more hair know what I'm talking about, but that really shows the health of your hair. So I would go maybe in that first, so for 1 year I didn't cut it at all, and then from year 1 till now I went maybe every 3 to 4 months just for maintenance trims, just to kind of keep the hair healthy, make sure there's no split ends, that kind of thing. I wash my hair, like at this length, I probably wash my hair maybe twice a week, depending on how active I am. It really just depends on the individual. If you live somewhere where you're sweating a lot, you're gonna want to have to wash your hair a little bit more. In the past 6 months, maybe I've started going back to a very fit lifestyle, so I've been becoming more active, going to the gym. So having the benefit of knowing what to use is really helpful if you're someone who's growing out their hair and maintains a very active lifestyle, and I'll talk about that in the products. During this time that I've grown out my hair, I found that, especially watching a lot of people on YouTube or asking other guys with long hair, is that everyone is different and the products that everyone uses won't necessarily work for you. So mainly in this time, you know, it's just you have to try a few things and find what works best for you. And these are the things that I found that work best for me. So like I said before, I have to take very good care of my hair because I'm donating it, and the criteria for hair that they use for wigs is really high. So I'll just start off with the brushes I use. Basically I have two brushes, these two. So this is just a generic, you know, brush. I brush my hair with it maybe twice, 3 times a day, in the morning before I go to bed, that kind of thing. And then this is what we call a wet brush. You get a lot of variety of them, all different types, but mainly it's like they have these kind of bristles that they're 2 different lengths, and what this is used for is to detangle your hair. So if you have dry hair or you have thin hair, this will really help kind of straighten it out and prevent you from getting knots, because once you get knots, if you don't get it out in time, it's just going to be knotted and you have to cut that hair out. Right now I'm wearing my hair open. I do it a day or 2 after I wash it, but usually I kind of just use generic ponytail. This is just a Goody hairband, or this was the hairband I was talking about before that I used to wear when I would slick it back and just kind of keep it all in place. If you are an active person, you go to the gym fairly frequently, or you sweat a lot, I would recommend getting this. It's called dry shampoo. Dry shampoo helps a lot. It's mainly just like to freshen up your hair. It's powder, and basically when you put that on your scalp, it absorbs all the oils and sweat, so it kind of keeps your hair a little bit fresh. If you're working out, you're gonna wash your hair maybe the day or the day after, this really helps a lot. If you use heat tools, I have naturally straight / wavy hair. I don't really use a lot of heat tools in my hair besides my blow dryer, but even then I use it on a very low to medium heat at most, because especially after you wash your hair, drying it, I would recommend just towel drying it, letting it sit for like 20-25 minutes depending how long it is, how thick it is, and then just blowing it out very, very lightly. If you do have to use heat, I would recommend using something like this. It's John Rita Frizzies. It's basically a thermal protection serum. You don't need a lot. I mean, for my hair, this bottle doesn't cost that much. It's about $16-17, but two pumps of it, and then you put it. Make sure you put it at the end of your hair, in the tips. Don't put it in the roots because it'll get oily and clog it up. But just kind of working that through and then drying it out. While I use this kind of brush just to kind of blow dry it and kind of get it as straight as I can. This helps with frizziness and a lot of flyaways if you might have, just to kind of keep it all in line and just kind of keep it looking tame. If I notice a big difference. I only started recently using this maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, and I found that this helps a lot, because usually if you just blow dry your hair, you know, just kind of just going at it, it just gets frizzy and it gets wild, and this just really helps keep it sort of straight. Like I washed my hair last night, and this is kind of keeping it semi-straight. But like I said, I mean, for shampoo and conditioner, I've used a lot. I've used salon brands, I've used Head and Shoulders. I wouldn't recommend Head and Shoulders. It's a lot more acidic, especially if you're trying to grow out your hair. Yes, it does help with the dandruff, but it leaves your hair very dry. I would recommend trying a few different hair care products like shampoos and conditioners that have things like argan oil in it or coconut oil. That really helps your hair. Right now I just use a basic shampoo and conditioner that it's from Costco, and it has coconut oil in it. I found that helps a lot, and I've used salon brands. The difference is it really just depends on the individual, but like I said, you just have to go and kind of figure out what works best for you. Now that I've told you why I've been growing my hair out and my hair care products, I'd just like to leave you on this last note. This past 3 years has been an extremely interesting experience. The types of interactions I've made has been fun. Met a lot of new people. Having long hair, you know, it's something that not a lot of people do. People find it interesting. They like to talk to me about it. Guys would ask me about it all the time. Women love it. This experience has been eye-opening. You learn a lot. And if you're thinking about growing out long hair, I highly recommend it. After I donate it now, I'm actually going to regrow it again just to kind of, for my own satisfaction, just because I like having long hair. People say it suits me more than having short hair. So I felt that, you know what, I think I should wear long hair as well. And I never would have realized that if I never just took the time to do it. I think I'll grow it a little bit shorter this time though, probably like shoulder length, keep it more manageable. But if you're thinking about growing your hair out, or you're growing your hair right now, stick to it. It's well worth it. So once again, thanks to Chris Wright and everyone at Men's Long Locks for featuring me, and take care. Bye.